What's the other requirements you're talking about?
It's going to be paying for my tuition. It's going to be startup costs associated with my business.
I gotta do all those things.
Yes, absolutely, and more. I just got started.
But why you can't pay your own?
I would when I don't have to. Like, I have the power. Like, the cards are in my hands.
That's what you really think, huh?
It used to be a time that fairy tales were true. The king and the queen and all the pills were blue. But then the pill changed, the red pill's the truth. Forget the married life, I got better things to do. Stack money, travel the world.
I thought you had a man though.
I do, and I'm single until I'm married. Unless you bring in something more than my man can bring me.
What you mean by that?
Everything is negotiable.
So basically, he pay all your bills, he do everything.
It's all about working smarter, not harder.
I mean, he sounds like a pretty good guy then.
I know he is. It's a shame.
Okay, like she says, she's with a man that's paying all her bills, but if another guy comes by that's willing to do more for her, then she'll go be with him. In other words, her soul is for sale. A lot of women are developing this. Why? Why are women developing this? Because women are in survival mode. As the economy drops, right? And there's less people making money. There's less people that's rich. Women are going to always jump into survival mode. One thing that you would notice even about the female content creators in this space, as the views drop, they post sexy pictures to get the views back up. They do the same thing, right? That the OnlyFans models are doing, because they know the simps are going to come running. So you have to understand, in life, when women want to win, they're going to automatically use their power to draw in a simp. We have a lot of simps with money. So now her soul is for sale. You guys have to stop entertaining women like this. And I'm not talking to all of you guys, but men have to stop entertaining this. You know why? Because the women think it's cute. They really think it's cute. One guy says, where does her hairline start? The other guy says, it sounds like it's prostitution. This guy said, where is her hairline at? Let's get back to it.
What you mean?
That's the law. I didn't make the rules. I need to make sure I have a monthly allowance. Like, what? Yes, what you thought?
A monthly allowance?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to discuss that first and foremost. And then we're going to break down the other requirements.
You have to realize she's anticipating a guy trying to get with her that has money. Most girls, as they get older, this is the game plan. And I told you, most men that get married, that's the guy that's willing to give her the most and what all the other guys are willing to give her. Because she's in survival mode. She's going to go towards what? The weaker guy. Only the weaker guy are going to fall for these requirements because he doesn't feel like he's good enough. That's how a lot of rappers are. A lot of rappers and entertainers are the same way. They become famous so fast that they never have a chance to adjust their personality from a beta. So all the money does is just amplifies their beta spirit that they had inside. That's why they make songs like, oh, I just bought her a bag. I just bought her a Range Rover. I just bought her a Berkey. I just bought her a Chanel. I just bought her red bottoms. I just bought her a butt. I just bought her some titties. The music is always talking about tricking. If you listen to hip hop music, because the black community is a hip hop culture. I don't care how you slice it. I don't care how you dice it. If you listen to the music is teaching men how to be simps by vibrating at lower frequencies. The type of girls that are in the rap music is the type of women that women have became now. They became the words to the music because of the frequencies in the music changing how they vibrate. So if the music is telling her, hey, I can buy you this, I can buy you that. And then the woman's music is saying, hey, you better buy me this if you want some pussy. You better buy me this if you want that. It's all working hand in hand. So the type of guy that needs to be with her is an insecure dude with money that never had a chance to grow. He never had a chance to change his character. The guys that wasn't used to getting women and then you step back and you started learning about women, you're not going to fall for these gimmicks because you've already changed your character as a man. Let's get to it.
What's the other requirements you're talking about?
It's going to be paying for my tuition. It's going to be startup costs associated with my business.
I got to do all those things.
Yes, absolutely, and more. I just got started.
But why you can't pay your own?
I would when I don't have to. Like, I have the power. Like, the cards are in my hands.
That's what you really think, huh?
The cards are in her hand as long as there's a guy out there willing to pay it. The chances of a guy that's out there willing to pay this consecutively is no.
Nigga, what?
That's where she loses in the end. She's young, cute. She has a lot of guys in her DM. So she's able to play these games. She's able to say, I want this. She's able to say, I want that, because she's young. As she starts to outgrow it, and this is what happens. When they look at the guys in the DM that's doing that, they look at the guys' pictures and they be like, nah. But as they get older and there's less and less guys that are offering it, they start to snatch at the ones that is offering it. And those are the ones they pull closer to them that they're going to use to stay ahead. I tell guys all the time, women want a rich dude just to spend his money to make it look like she's a boss. A lot of wives, they trap their husbands in by saying, if you want me to be a wife, you have to be able to pay my student loans, because if I didn't stop and be a wife and have your kids, then I would have been successful already. So if you want me to stop being successful that I'm gonna do, then you gotta pay for it. And it's mainly gonna be hood boogers that's going to do this, because a true independent woman is never looking for a man to take care of her. So you guys have to understand, just talking like this automatically makes her a hood booger that's probably going to be broke in the long run when a man doesn't want her.
Nigga, what?
Get to it.
That's why I know. That's why my
what you
bills are
think.
paid.
I like to
With
travel.
bigger guys,
What
we
you
ain't
like to
getting
do?
it. I love to travel.
You do?
Yes. So where we going? Dubai?
I think you could travel and get the.
Whoa.
Nigga, what?
I thought you had a man though.
I do. And I'm single until I'm married. Unless you
married.
bring in something more than my man can bring me.
Or more of the story here, guys, is a lot of women out here that are hook buggers. This is exactly how they think. As long as men are relinquishing their power around these type of women, then they're going to always believe in that belief system. All right. We're now getting ready to get around to the lecture. Matter of fact, let's go.
I would only just add that, we have spoken to people who have been sacked that used to be in content moderation, and we've spoken to people very recently who were involved in moderation, and they just say there's not enough people to police this stuff, particularly around speech in the company.
What are you talking about? I mean, you use Twitter,
right?
Do you see a rise?
I mean,
but just a personal anecdote. Like, what do you do? I don't.
Personally, my for you, I would see I get more of that kind of content. Yeah, personally, but I'm not going to talk to the rest of for the rest of Twitter.
So you see more personally.
I would say I would see more for content in that.
Content you don't like or hateful. What do you mean to describe it?
Yeah, I mean, just content that will solicit a reaction, something that may include something that is sexist or slightly sexist. Those.
See, what people don't understand about Elon Musk is that he's woke. When you're woke in life and you see what it is, people aren't sissies to bad words. See, I told you guys earlier on when we went live, I said majority of people now are affected by words that are being typed. They're affected by words that they read. If someone sends you something in all caps, you think that they're screaming at you. You got to damn near type now with an emoji at the end just to make people feel good about reading words. When you're dealing with someone like Elon Musk, they don't have time to play emotional games.
Single example, and you can't name one.
Right, and as I already said, I don't use that feed. But
then how would you know that?
I don't think this is getting anywhere.
You literally said you experienced more hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, and as I said,
that's absurd.
I haven't actually looked at that feed.
Then how would you know there's hateful content?
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you an exact example. Let's move on. We only have a certain amount of time.
Wow.
COVID misinformation.
See, this is what happens when you try to push a narrative, but the person you're standing in front of already know the narrative you're trying to push. It's hard to hold these conversations with Elon Musk. And the reason why is because he built the company up from scratch and he made a lot of moves. When you get to his level, you didn't get to his level with fairy tales. You didn't get to his power with fairy tales. He's always talked this red pill shit because that red pill shit is where it's at. That's the truth to life. The blue pill is an emotional standpoint. You cannot be emotional and be successful. I'm going to say it again. You cannot be emotional and be successful. They don't go hand in hand. For you to be successful in life and get to where you have to get to, you have to become disciplined. When you become disciplined, there's nothing happy about discipline. You got to work when you don't want to work. You got to make moves when you don't want to make moves. And you have to place what you're doing. You have to place your purpose above everything, even when you don't want to be on your purpose. That's how you get to Elon Musk's level. He don't have time to listen to this guy because it's all fairy tale shit.
You've changed the COVID misinformation.
Has
rules.
BBC changed its COVID misinformation?
The BBC does not set the rules on Twitter, so I'm asking you.
No, I'm talking about the BBC's misinformation about COVID.
I'm literally asking you about, you changed the labels, the COVID misinformation labels. There used to be a policy, and then it then disappeared. What?
Of course, he's going to move the vid policies off when you find out it all was a hoax. Everybody know the vid was a hoax. Everybody know COVID was a hoax. Everybody know that it was a manipulation to get you to become more depressed and be more controlled by computers. Everybody that's living a real life already knows that. Everybody living in La La Land is like, yeah, well, the COVID, the vid, I got to get the vaccine and I got to. No, it was all a hoax from the gate just to get you to vibrate at a lower vibration so you could be conquered. Now you out dyeing your hair, trying to get in touch with your feelings inside, wearing dresses, been put on Coke cans. When you're dealing with someone like Elon Musk, he's playing games with the elites. He's around these elites. So when you interview him, you have to interview him from a realistic point of view. If this guy was to have like a regular celebrity in front of him, it would be easy to have these conversations with because they have agendas that they have to push. Elon Musk doesn't have agendas that he has to push because he's the agenda. He's just as high as the elites, even though the elites, if they want to take him out, they can. But he's up there. He has enough power to talk his talk.
Why do that?
Well, COVID is no longer an issue. Does the BBC hold itself at all responsible for misinformation regarding masking and side effects of vaccinations? And not reporting on that at all? And what about the fact that the BBC was put under pressure by the British government to change its editorial policy? Are you aware of that?
This is not an interview about the BBC.
Oh, so. You thought it wasn't?
How are you going to confront him about him removing COVID off of Twitter when the company that he works for was forced to change, didn't even cover COVID? And they had to change their views on how they felt about COVID. In other words, the interviewer should have never brought it up because BBC is in a worse position than Elon Musk. All Elon Musk did was say, get the COVID stuff off of Twitter. We don't constantly need to keep reminding people about COVID on Twitter, so we're going to remove it. But BBC America, they've been reporting false claims on COVID, and they were forced to remove their interviews.
I see now why you've done Twitter Spaces. I am not a representative of the BBC's editorial policy. I want to make that clear. Let's talk about something else. You want to talk about the BBC? All right, let's talk about something else.
You weren't expecting that.
Let's talk about something else.
Elon Musk is just one of those difficult dudes that you're not going to be able to push the agendas on. This is why we need more people like Elon Musk, Donald Trump. You guys make sure you guys are getting out there voting for Trump whenever the time comes because we have to spark change. This Bud Light thing